I usually tend to enjoy modern JRPGs, but there was something about Rhapsody that managed to pull me in. Its bright and pink accented trailers appealed to my love of those things, but also the promise of quirky dialogue and a musical adventure, and I'm glad they made me try it, as I was pleasantly surprised with how much I loved my first hours with it. While this means I need to go back to the first game, it's all for good reason, as the dialogue in 2 and 3 was refreshingly fun, especially when characters burst into song and musical moments. Mix this with combat with a monster collecting twist, and it feels like this game has everything but the kitchen sink in a good way, while also balancing the simplicity and focus of older games. Throwing kingdoms, charming characters, and adventure, and this package of the second and third Rhapsody games deserves to be on the map for those planning to continue the series, and have made a Rhapsody fan out of me as I look forward to continuing its colorful adventure. One thing I didn't realize when my knowledge of Rhapsody Marl Kingdom Chronicles was limited to its trailers was that this Chronicles collection actually just has the second and third Rhapsody games, which isn't a problem, but is also maybe not entirely clear for someone like myself who tries to go dark before playing something and initially assumed this collection had all of them. Those who bought NIS's Printing Collection 3 for Switch last year probably had this figured out, which was where I first heard about Rhapsody, but forgot about it until I saw Marl Kingdom Chronicles was coming this year, and this collection sounds like a very good thing for fans, as they're the first time the second and third games have been released in English and on modern consoles like Switch and PS5, allowing newer Switch fans to continue the series, and also anyone who played the original Rhapsody on PS1 to finally continue this series on PlayStation in the West. These 3 games are a proper series of games in that the stories of each one connect, with the first one based around the puppeteer Cornet, the second based on her daughter Kuriru, and the third one starting off with Cornet but apparently delving into other characters from the series as a whole to tie off loose ends. With this knowledge, I didn't find 2 to be that bad of a starting point, as it's told from Kuriru's perspective. However, the openings of both games do spoil multiple story beats from the first, so if that means something to you, you may want to take a look at the Pretty Collection the first one's in, which is actually what I plan to do when I continue. But if you like the look of Kuriru's personality rather than Cornet's, I don't personally think it's bad to start with 2 if that's what you choose, but just know that the first one is accessible on modern systems if you want to play in order, which this fun experience has inspired me to do eventually. This Rhapsody Collection's trailers featured musical numbers, sweet-filled battles, and characters with a lot of charm that made it look intriguing, and I'm pleased to say that the real experience lives up to this, as all these things made me want to keep playing in its world. I started my Rhapsody journey in Rhapsody 2 with the troublemaking romantic Princess Kuriru, who, like mother like daughter, is in search of a prince of her own. Her hobbies include singing, breaking out of the castle, and not doing well in school, but she has enough charm in her dialogues to be very likable that make these qualities somehow okay, and serves as an entertaining character to follow as she ropes in a knight and her rich best friend in her search for love that may not be all it's cracked up to be, but makes for an amusing journey that I want to see the rest of for sure. As a princess constantly escaping the castle, thankfully she can fight, with turn-based battles with puppets making up the unique combat in Rhapsody. You have your standard and elemental attacks as usual, but I was pleasantly surprised by the puppet system, where puppets you find in the story or on the field can be equipped to your character, with 3 able to be equipped at a time, and they can help expand the moveset of who they're equipped to make them more useful. This is especially great for Kuriru, as it's emphasized she's just a kid and still learning to fight, that's reflected in the amount of damage she deals, so equipping the right puppets is important, as it makes her a much more usable character in fights that do have some challenge. I love how this system adds in a monster collecting element that wasn't something I was expecting at all from this, but since I like its designs, I'm pretty happy about it, and will look forward to finding more puppets as I play. Another visual thing that attracted me to Rhapsody was its dumping of sweets onto enemies, which is done by using its reward system in combat. Rewards are reflected with notes on Rhapsody's musical stave that you gain from using puppets, and once you've gained enough to get a point, you can start to exchange these for candy-covered special attacks that deal good damage and add plenty of color and fun to the screen. I've only managed to use a couple of these, but I love how ridiculous they are, so I'm keen to use more, and I'm also glad they're on top of other interesting systems and voice acting that elevate it beyond its old visual style to make it an experience that just feels plain fun. I was hesitant at first, but its fun systems, totally extra musical moments, and charm everywhere makes it very easy to love, and might end up being a favorite for me this year if I wind up playing more of it. I know these things will encourage me to go back and get the first one to keep enjoying this series, and I hope seeing its fun world encourages you guys to give this colorful series a try too. Rhapsody's charm that goes beyond its old school visuals really surprised me. It's proof that good writing and performance can stand the test of time, and partnered with creative attacks and storytelling moments that feel like a lot of fun, it was a refreshing JRPG experience that is a good reminder of how enjoyable playing in a world full of good ideas can be. I'm very excited to keep playing from the first one, and I'm thankful the code I received from NIS has allowed me to give you guys a look at this ahead of its release on the 29th. It's a colorful world. I think it's definitely worth a look for fans of colorful and interesting experiences, and I can't wait to spend more time in its world of puppets, sweets, and true love that lives up to the fun world it promises. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried the Rhapsody series and if you're gonna try this entry. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring the bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!